My builder gel is a mess. I've been doing projects with my kids. My nails got stained. So let's remove it and put some new builder gel on my short nails. What's up, nail crew? It's Nicole, your fellow nail obsessed DIYer. Today is all about how to do nail prep for builder gel and how to apply your builder gel. So buckle up. This is going to be a super informative video. I'm going to go into more detail than I normally do. So I'm testing out two different nail drill bits to e-file off old builder gel. You guys have asked me what other bits you can use besides my favorite bit, the Pana Coarse Safety bit. The bit that I'm using now, this gold one, is the Pana Extra Fine bit. And I have to say, I do not normally use this because it's super sharp on the edges. So even though it's extra fine, this is the bit that I have by far cut myself with the most over the past couple years that I've been e-filing. So removing my builder gel with it, it actually worked really well. But I had to be very, very careful and pay a lot more attention than I normally do in removing my builder gel. It definitely worked using an extra fine bit like this. It removed the builder gel really evenly, which I liked. But since it's not a safety bit, it was definitely one that I had to be really careful with because I typically use this bit after I do my dip nails, after I activate, file and shape smooth. Then I use this bit to go around to make my dip cuticle lines like look really nice and even. So this was different to use it for builder gel removal, but like I said, it worked really well. But you have to be way more careful. And if you've seen any of my videos before, you know that I'm basically the opposite of careful. I'm pretty messy when I do my nails. I tend to do my nails a little bit wildly, even after almost 5 years. That's how I am. Doing things like my nails, I tend to do a little bit wildly. I actually tend to do a lot of things like that. Even my kids, like when they want me to help them with something, they first ask, and they're like, wait, never mind, mom, you're just gonna mess this up, because they know how wild I am. So anyways, we are using this extra fine bit and it is removing the builder gel very nicely. Again, I'm just having to pay a lot more attention and I'm having to go slower. So slower doesn't mean that I'm stopping moving the bit. When I mean slower, you'll see now that I'm doing my right hand using my normal Pana Safety Coarse bit. I can move a lot faster on my nails because I know that the safety bit is not going to cut up my skin like the extra fine bit I was using on my left hand. I was definitely able to get the builder gel off a lot faster with the coarse bit. So as of now, this coarse bit is still my ride or die bit for removal, whether I'm using builder gel or whether I'm removing dip powder. Something that I am going to try is I'm going to use a finer grit in the safety bit to see if that makes any kind of difference in removing dip or builder gel. My nails are struggling a bit overall. If you saw my last video where I talked about what had happened with my health issues and the medication that just did not go well in my body, what happened, I developed this serotonin syndrome, an overload of serotonin basically in my body. My nails are definitely still recovering. So if you're somebody who's going through health problems, just know that your nails are affected too. My nails normally hold builder gel down like nobody's business. I mean, it will stick there no matter what, except when I'm having some health issues or when I am extremely stressed. So it's been a while since I had lifting of any kind of builder gel, but since I've been going through some health issues, I know that my builder gel is going to lift up faster than it normally does. So once I get the bulk of the builder gel off and I'm close to my natural nails, then I go in with a sanding band. The sanding band is the only band that I use to touch my natural nails. I learned this from Susie of Nail Career Education. If you don't watch her channel is an absolute must. So I'm using a 240 grit sanding band to go down and really even out any of my dip powder to make sure that I buff the new growth on my nails, that it's not super smooth. And then I wanted to try this new drill bit. It's a Cuticle Bit from Nail Mart. I am obsessed with watching her videos. I've been watching her on TikTok and Instagram, I don't know, at least for a year, maybe 2. I honestly can't even remember anymore. She's also on YouTube. I pretty much, anytime I see her videos, I immediately watch. So she has this little cuticle bit called the Only Clean, where it's safe to put it against your against your nails because it only takes off cuticle. So I was super excited to try this. It's definitely on the pricier side. I want to say it was like $17 plus shipping. I waited until there was a sale so that basically like the sale covered what the shipping cost was, because it's only one bit that I ordered. It worked. It definitely worked to go around my cuticles. It did not hurt my nails at all. It didn't cut me up even like when the bit kind of slipped. So I loved that part. I even like brushed it over my skin just to see if it would cut my skin. You know me, like I basically will try anything just to like test it out for all of you. So I went around both my left and my right hand with this bit, seeing like how it would work on my cuticles. It removed a good amount of the cuticle. I was really impressed with how it did not at all dig into my actual nails. Something though that I wasn't crazy about was I felt like it wasn't getting enough of the excess cuticle that stuck on my nail plate. I felt like it wasn't getting enough of it off. Now, maybe for some people that's exactly how they want it to be, but after using this bit, I switched back to my McCart bit. You'll see me using here my McCart cuticle bit that I absolutely love. And I felt like it's just able to get that excess cuticle off just a little bit more precise. I know that some people who use the Nail Mart one, they also use cuticle nippers, but I am not a professional nail tech, so I am not going to be using cuticle nippers on my skin. I just make sure I use very gentle cuticle bits to remove any of the excess cuticle that's stuck on my nail plate. That's just going to help with lifting. So then I just quickly went around my McCart cuticle bit. Now, I'm sure if I continue to use the Nail Mart cuticle bit, the Only Clean, I'm sure I would get a lot better at it. And I plan to continue to try it, watch more of her videos, make sure that I'm using it correctly. So now my nails are all prepped, and I like to spray them with isopropyl alcohol before I go in with anything else, just to make sure I got all the dust off, even before I do my dehydrator. Now my nails are nice and clean and ready to go for the builder gel overlay. For this overlay, I'm using OG Dip Powder's Pink in a Bottle. This is one of my favorite builder gels to use because it's just like this really beautiful tint of pink on your nails. I like to jump back and forth really at any length my nails are in between different color builder gels depending on whatever I'm feeling like. So I go one hand at a time, from all the way from dehydrator to primer through the whole builder gel process before I move to my next hand. So I dehydrate my 5 nails, thumb to pinky, and then go back in, scrubbing the primer in, thumb to pinky, and then I go back in for a second pass of primer, thumb to pinky as well. You don't want to soak your nails with the primer. When you get too much primer into your cuticles, that can actually cause lifting. So primer should be sticky. Primer should leave a sticky residue on your nails, and that's what helps any kind of gel adhere to them. For me, I do builder gel directly onto my primer. Most people do need a layer of gel base down underneath their builder gel for better adhesion, but for some of us, putting gel base down on our natural nails just does not work. It lifts really quickly. I had this issue when I was going to nail salons. The few times that I went, gel never stayed on my nails. So I started trying it probably a few months after I started doing builder gel, maybe like 3.5, 4 years ago at this point. I stopped using the gel base underneath, and my builder gel started staying so much better. So if you're having trouble with builder gel staying, the first thing that I always, give people advice on is to look at your nail prep. Are you doing a dry nail prep? Make sure that you're not using any type of liquid cuticle remover. Don't use any type of like nail polish strengthening products underneath. I've seen people talk about that and then say like that their builder gel or dip is lifting. For the most part, most people cannot use any type of like strengthening nail polish underneath their builder gel or dip, it's going to make it lift. Then once you know that your prep is good, the next thing I would do is make sure you're doing dehydrator and primer. And some companies call their bond, some people call it bond, some people call it dehydrator, some people call it primer. The names seem to be a little bit interchangeable between brands, but your first step should be the bond slash dehydrator. And what that does is dehydrate your nails. So that gets rid of any oils, anything on your nails before you go and put product on it. You can use isopropyl alcohol, but for a lot of us, that's not quite strong enough. Dehydrator is a combination of things, so that typically helps to bond it to your nails better. And some companies call their dehydrator bond. Then when you're using primer needs to leave a sticky adhesion layer. So some companies call that bond. Like the one I'm using from OG Dip Powder, it's called primer. But when you use one from, like, say, Young Nails, they call theirs protein bond, and that leaves a sticky residue so that your gels can adhere. So that's the first step in making sure that your builder gel adheres to your nails, is doing your prep. And then the next step is using your dehydrator and primer. And then once you've done that, then you can go with your application. And like I said, some people do need gel base down for better adhesion of the builder gel, but some of us have to jump right into the builder gel. So when you're doing the builder gel, what I have noticed really helps me is by doing a slip layer. The slip layer is a really thin layer of the builder gel that you do not cure. It should basically just be enough to cover your nail, and that allows the bead of builder gel that you put on next to slip down your nail, right? So slip layer makes sense. You put the builder gel on really thin, and then you take a bead of it and apply it back towards the back of your nail, not at your cuticles, and then you kind of just gently push it back towards your cuticles and swoop it side to side as you're pulling it down to the tip of your nails. And that's how you're going to start working on your apex as well. Then you flip your nail over for like at least 10 seconds to let the apex build naturally. The apex is just the highest point of your nail enhancement, and that would be where if you pressed at the edge of your nail, a little white mark would kind of like show up towards the middle of your nail. That's how you know where you want your apex to be. So I don't need to press on my nails anymore. I know where my apex is when my nails are short and long, just because I've been doing it for so long. At this point, I can literally just look at them and know exactly where my apex should be. Once you've applied the builder gel on one nail, you want to make sure that you flash cure it for about 5 to 10 seconds before moving to the next nail. And then when you're totally done with your builder gel on all your nails, then you can do your full cure. I do my thumb separately, and then I do my pointer through pinky together. The reason I do my thumb separately is because we tend to hold our thumbs at this like really weird angle, and then it doesn't fully cure. So you want to do your thumb separate and the other 4 fingers. And once they're fully cured, I like to spray them with alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, wipe the sticky layer off, and then I go in and buff them really smooth because I use peel base over my builder gel and pretty much always do dip mayonnaise. Once in a while I'll do gel mayonnaise, once in a while I'll do nail polish, but I would say 98% of the time I'm doing dip just because I love it so much. If you want to wear builder gel alone after you filed and buffed them to the shape that you want, then you can go back in, do your dehydrator, primer, and then put on gel base and gel top and just wear your builder gel alone. Now, if you're still having a lot of problems with your builder gel and you need way more information than just videos, I got you. The first pinned comment and my description both have a link to my Ultimate Builder Gel 101 guide. It is 48 pages of everything you need to know for how to apply builder gel overlays from prep to application to removal, and there is absolutely zero gatekeeping. I am not at all about the gatekeeping. I am all about giving you guys all the information you want. Now come check out this next video and I'll go over how to do builder gel in a bottle versus jar. Thanks for joining me today, Nail Crew.